Hello and welcome back to Sprite Guard Plays a Story About My Uncle. We are going into what I think is the hardest part of the game. It is very much looking like this is the place that I was talking about earlier that I thought we'd already been through because I was a little bit confused when they took away our boots, but it turns out that they gave us back our boots. And so now I really think that this is the area that people were talking about being the stalactite corridor, the hardest part of the game, and the part that actually had to get nerfed in difficulty because people were struggling with it too much. So let's see if we can get through it. Let's see if we actually are able to take advantage of whatever changes were made. So we've landed here. They said that they added more platforms on which you could recharge your boots and land to recharge your grapple. Now, once again, I've been playing too many different first-person platformers, and so it's going to take me a moment to remind myself of the controls. Also, it's probably good to... let's see, that's not going to work. I don't think that's going to work, no. Alright, got a better sense of what the controls are now. So we do that, land here. And then we go to this one, which doesn't fall. And then we want to go around it, grab that, recharge, miss, fall. Alright, so this is going to be a lot of iteration and a lot of making the same mistakes over and over. So let's see if we can get doing that. There we go. There we go. There we go. All right. Couldn't quite tell what was going on. It is a bit dark in here, but that went remarkably well. Let's see if we can get this part down. 1, 2, recharge. 1, 2, recharge. Forget where I'm going. Fall. Lost track of what direction we were headed there. So, got to probably pay a little bit more attention to planning my route and planning out which way I'm going to face. So this part, not too difficult. Especially since we have the boots that we can use to give ourselves an extra boost. So this part I'm kind of struggling with. So I want to take a moment to plan out where I'm going. We're going to be headed straight that way, and so I want to keep my bearings. And it's going to be a pattern of 1, 2, charge, 1, 2, charge, and we've landed on something. Oh, we landed on that beam that I was trying to land on before and was not managing to land on. So, once again, 1, 2, rocket boots, and we're on to the next platform. And we are getting into a very dark part of the world. Looks like we are headed over this way? I can't really tell. Ah yes, that one is missing. Which means we probably came from over there, though it's hard to say. It's a little bit hard to tell, but I believe that's the beam we landed on right there. So we're gonna go this way. Probably want to grab that one, and then that one, and then charge, miss, and we're back here. This is very difficult for sure, and I don't know if we're even going to make it one checkpoint further during this entire episode. I am a little bit worried. Alright, had to use up my third grapple, but boots should be able to get us there. There we go. and come in for a landing. Very nice. So, I have the basics down. I know what it is that I'm doing. And it's going to be a lot of working on mechanics and execution in order to get through here. And it's going to require a lot of quick thinking, kind of more quick thinking than I'm really comfortable with. So I may end up going quiet. That's not quite going to do it. But that might. Oh, not quite. Okay, probably could have grappled onto that if I had been a little bit more aware of what I was doing. But unfortunately, I got into this rhythm of expecting one particular pattern. And so when I wasn't able to do that exact pattern, I wasn't really prepared to change what I was doing, and that ended up meaning that I missed out on what would have been probably a fairly easy recovery. So it can be very important to be aware of your surroundings and be aware of all of your options, because sometimes you will need to do something that you are not prepared to do. There we go. Very nice. Rocket boots to salvage that. Up there, over there, recharge. Up there, over there, and onto there.
Fred had come this way alone too. I took some comfort in knowing that whatever problems I faced now, Fred would have faced them too, and beaten them. If he could do it, I could do it too.
Okay, well, that's encouraging. That's good. We made it through that bit. That was really challenging. It took us 2 episodes, but we did it. And I'm really happy. So now we have to figure out where we're going next. And it looks like we're going down this... Oh my goodness, that is a longer jump than it looked like. Let's see. We may have needed to land on that platform there. See, this looks like the kind of basic jumps that we were doing earlier on in the game, but I think it's not. I think that we're actually doing much longer jumps than I realized. Now, there was an achievement I noticed called "If He Could Do It, I Can Too." So that dialogue cue there makes me wonder... that was a mistake for sure. Make me wonder if that achievement is something to do with here, and the hint text for it is "The floor is lava." So my guess would be that we need to get through this area in order to get to the achievement without ever touching the floor, which is probably substantially more difficult, considering the last achievement that I looked at was the one that I just could not figure out at all, couldn't even figure out the first jump on. This game's achievements are even more difficult than the game itself, which is saying something. Okay, so what do we have here? We have some charge points. We have, looks like, a grapple point over there. We could probably rocket jump up to there. And I think that it may be that one of the things that it may have been referring to is the fact that we have rocket boots when we kind of assume that Fred did not. And so it may be that there's a way to do this without ever rocket jumping. But I think I'm going to play it a little bit safe here, just because I'm a little bit anxious to move on, and I know that I'm going to be struggling with this game no matter what. And so I don't really want to add, as much as I love adding extra challenge, this time I don't really want to do that because I have really a goal in mind that is something different than just enjoying the challenge. Now this looks so much like where we came in through that I'm a little bit worried, but I think this is the right direction we're heading in. Ooh, that was a miss. Good thing we just got a checkpoint. So let's see if we can make it through here. There's that. Recharge. There's that. And that almost missed. There's this one. And this one. And that's going to take us over here to another flare. Where do we go from here? Pretty clearly not down there. But where do we go? I'm not really sure. I'm really not sure. It seems like we've hit a dead end. There's not really anything for us to grab onto down here. Oh! And I fell. So the arrow's pointing this way. And this is a checkpoint. So maybe we're supposed to, like, ceiling run along here. Yeah, that's certainly what it looks like. Drop down under this, and then along here. And we have that very gentle 1, 2 zoom. Very nice. Oops. Well, hope we didn't need to recharge there. Oh, we did. Oh my goodness. Alright, so we've got another big challenge coming up here. This game just continues to throw interesting things our way. Not quite. Hope we don't need those later. Well, gotta give it another try. I'm actually kind of impressed that as frustrating as this is, I am not feeling any frustration. I'm feeling even less frustration than I was with some of the other really difficult challenges that we faced in this game. I'm just finding this such a neat series of jumps, such an engaging series of jumps, that the fact that I'm doing the same thing over and over again, that I'm just not making it through here, is actually totally okay with me. I'm totally okay just working on this. And I think I actually just managed to make a mistake on that very first jump, but it may actually have worked out here. Just need to be able to get that, but no. And I do want to save my rocket jump because It seems like I need that for a different part of this later on. And I just keep messing up that first jump. And that's really going to make things harder for me. And this is kind of... one thing that this is actually doing for me that is kind of nice for me is it's really confirming that the part of that falling blocks thing that was really getting a reaction out of me was not that it was difficult, was that it was random, which is what I was saying, but there was kind of this sense of... there was this kind of sense of, well, are you just saying that because you're salty? Are you just trying to blame the game? But I'm enjoying this so much that I now think that I can say, yeah, it was because it was random, not because it was difficult. Because I'm spending just as much time on some of this stuff and having just as much difficulty with it. I seem to have hit a checkpoint without realizing it. Where did that put us? Huh. Ah, I guess we were supposed to land from there down to here and walk along this. And we have another balance beam. This one we cannot grapple to. So that could be an interesting change. I wonder if that's something that they were setting up by having all of these balance beams. If we're going to have to do something a little bit more challenging here. Certainly looks like it. Because we cannot grapple onto that at all. So my hope is that, yes, that rocket jump was perfectly placed. Very happy. And I just realized I cannot actually see how long I've been going, so I am probably going to wrap this up relatively soon. But I know that we're getting close to the end.
It was dark all around me, but there was a light at the end of the tunnel.
That certainly makes it sound like we're very close to the end. Wow. This is a pretty cool visual effect. Oh, we've gone into story mode. Oh my goodness, is that Fred?
Hello? Nephew?
Uncle Fred, I finally found him.
My little boy. I'm glad to see you. And you're wearing the suit I made you. But how can you be here?
I said that I found the suit in his workshop and that I came looking for him.
I'm sorry for being away for so long. But I've been busy down here, you see. The frog people. That was an experiment of mine. Do you remember the eggs I found before? I sent them here by accident, and I had to follow. By the time I got here, they were already growing. These caves were empty before, but my experiment has made them full of life. I've conducted research on them and documented everything about them. And I built a new crystal-powered pad to be able to get back to my colleagues, show them how fantastic this all is.
I interrupted Fred and told him about Maddie, how we came all the way to Starhaven together, and that I had promised to ask him if he would go see her there.
Madeline. My little Maddie. I should have taken her to see Starhaven long ago. She was always so curious about the strays. Well, I left her. I wanted to protect her. Or rather, protect myself from losing her. I've changed my mind. I'm not going home. What does research or praise matter when I can be here with these creatures? They need me. And it's just as well. I don't trust this pad for more than one ride anyway. You need that ride.
I didn't want to go home, and I asked if I could stay with him and Maddie instead.
I'm sorry, nephew. As much as I enjoy having you here, you must go home. Explore the world on your own. Have your own adventures.
I reluctantly agreed to go home. I was going to miss my uncle.
I will miss you too. But I'm sure you'll do phenomenal on your own. And don't worry about me or Maddie. We'll be fine. The pad is yours, boy. When you're ready.
All right. Well, that looks like it's the end of the story. All right. Cool. That was really enjoyable. Well, I'm glad that you could join me for that. I would love to hear your thoughts if you enjoyed the story, if you thought the game was interesting. But most of all, thank you very much for watching, and have a great rest of your day.
The end. Now, good night, sweetie.
Wait, Dad. Does that mean Fred is still there?
Who knows? That was the last time I saw him.
Don't you miss him?
I do, sometimes. But I don't worry about him, because I know that wherever he is, he's on his biggest adventure yet. Dear Fred, today I step into the lobby of your house for the last time. My daughter asked me to tell her about an adventure, and I came to think of you. Your house looks just like my mother and I left it years ago. After you'd gone, I was sure she was going to throw out all your stuff, but she just cleaned up. We made you a small memorial. For a while, I came here every day, just like I used to. Sometimes I could even faintly hear your voice, calling from the observatory, asking me to get you this tool or that. I never told my mother about that day. I don't think she would have believed me. Can I believe it? After all these years? Uncle Fred, thanks to you, I have found an even greater adventure. Thank you. Love, your nephew.